I don't need to hear me.
Okay, I'm good. Let me pull out.
Here, let me do it. Let me do it this time. Maybe that'll make it on time.
All right, go ahead.
5,
4, 3,
2, 1. Yeah, now it sounded like I was before you.
So there's a delay, yeah. It's like a split-second delay. Maybe the show would be funnier if we were totally live.
People are like, there's something just about the timing that's a little off.
It's like 99.8% fine.
Sunday night in the mag room.
All around the world you can hear them. Hey, hey, hey. Talking about news and kind of funny stuff. Hey, hey, hey. Mag room. Mag room. The mag room. The mag room.
Sisk stories. This was a cool one. Frank Sinatra.
Okay, old blue eyes.
So a little bit of this is about criminals at the beginning. Criminals is the theme. Yeah, this was about people who had been arrested, like famous people that had been arrested.
Matthew Broderick? Was Matthew Broderick on there?
He was not. Has he gotten arrested?
Do you know that he killed a man?
Come on.
With a car, with a drunk driving accident in, I believe it was Ireland.
But why have I never heard of this? like Matthew Broderick doesn't have like a bad reputation. Yeah, but you can kill a guy and get off, like self-defense.
Charles Manson killed people.
Yeah, he did not get off though.
Right. Oh yeah.
He went to
jail. That was
jail
the point of this. Maybe Matthew Broderick did time. I don't know. Does he have any cool prison tattoos? I can't picture exactly what his neck looks like right now.
I'm gonna look this up. Jennifer Grey, Matthew Broderick.
They both beat the guy to death.
He said he caused a fatal accident.
I feel like we've talked about this before now that we're talking about it.
He was with Jennifer Grey, 1987. She was the only witness. He was unconscious and had amnesia and was very badly injured.
I'm very badly injured.
I thought he was dead. Two women got killed. Head-on collision. Just days before Dirty Dancing was released.
Oof.
He killed a woman who was 63 and her daughter who was 28. He pled guilty to the charge of careless driving and paid a $175 fine.
Wow. That's pretty rough, man. $175?
That was it.
Jesus. That's a lot of money. This is $1987, Jared. I don't know if you know that.
Broderick was a great driver and nobody was drinking. It was just an accident and it was tragic. If that happened now, he would have been done.
Probably $350.
His career would have been
probably $350 fine. Is that what you're saying? Twice as much in these days.
Yeah. So do you know what Frank Sinatra was arrested for? It's probably the best thing you could ever be arrested for.
Stealing a man's wife, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but what's the charge? Do you know what the charge was?
Dude, we've done this before, Jared. Did you somehow?
Really?
Yeah, I know we've done. Well, maybe.
Seduction.
Nice.
Like if you were gonna get arrested and you told me you got arrested for seduction, I'd be like, that's pretty cool.
Would you believe me? Remember when I told you I went to jail in 2009? It was a seduction charge. I ended up there
when a man
days.
Convinced an unmarried woman of good repute to engage in an inappropriate encounter with him.
So if she was a skis, you wouldn't get arrested?
No.
That's cool.
And it said usually you promise marriage and then you don't really marry her. So second story, related, also about crime. You know, did you hear Caesar got assassinated?
Julius Caesar.
Yes. Have you heard that?
Yes. Big news back in the like 300s. I don't know. I have no idea how time works, but a long time ago. Yes.
So the line that he says that's famous in the line in Shakespeare
is, "I'm very badly injured."
It's the same as Matthew Broderick said. Yes. That's why I'm tying this together.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Do you remember what he said though?
The Veni Vidi Vici?
No, I don't think so. What does that mean?
I came, I saw, I conquered.
No, remember Brutus stabs him?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Et tu, Brute?"
Oh, that's right. That's what it is. Et tu, Brute.
And I guess it literally means "you too, child." But in Greek, it's "kai su teknon," is what he said.
I used to listen to Kaiju Techno stuff back in the 90s. It was good. It gets you all amped up for the night.
Yeah, like, hey Mark, before we go out to Sigma Nu, could you put on some Kai Su Teknon?
I can't do that for too long because I smoke cigarettes and it starts to make me scared that I'm going to pass out.
So, Kai Su, I guess, often appears on curse tablets. I guess they used to have tablets which listed swear words.
Just like the newspaper? Did you see came out last week?
Nice, yeah. Hey, look at the curse tablet. Some monk writes a new curse word on the curse tablet.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It was not the emotional parting declaration of a betrayed man to one he had treated like a son, but more along the lines of, "See you in hell, punk." That's what he really said, which is a lot cooler.
It is cooler. What did we think it meant before this guy came out with this paper?
You too, child. Like, I don't know, his son.
I thought it was.
I
thought et tu was and you. Is that not right?
I guess it's you too, child. I don't know. It says it literally means you too, child.
Oh, well, and Brute. I thought his name was Brutus. Do I have no idea what that whole thing meant?
I guess so.
So that's why it didn't seem to have a whole lot of impact on me. I guess because I didn't know what it meant in the first place.
So this all builds up to Vlad Putin. So Russia hires these freedom fighter forces that are pretty brutal, I guess. And this guy was head of one of them called Wagner.
Yevgeny, what's his name? Yevgeny...
Prigozhin.
Yevgeny Prigozhin, yeah. That's it.
So he shot so the guy, Putin decided they wanted these guys to sign some oath of allegiance. Yevgeny said, screw that, and he started leading his troops towards Moscow. And eventually there was some deal brokered where Yevgeny got to go to Belarus, and everything was like, Putin's like, I won't kill you, I promise. And then basically
his plane went down.
Yes, his plane was like shot down, even though Vlad denied it.
I just think this stuff sounds, I think the world sometimes has that we're watching a movie happen and feel to it, you know? And I don't know. And then they were talking about how Prigozhin, I mean, the guy's a warlord, or I don't know what you call that. I guess you're a warlord. Is it like the French Legion? Is the French Legion like a company? Is that what, I mean, Wagner is a company, but they just employ like soldiers.
What's the one? There's one in the U.S. What was the U.S. one? Black something?
Blackstone.
that was from Born Identity, I think.
Probably it. Blackstone.
I don't remember what it was called.
Blackstone.
But there's the same. You just hire killers.
Yeah.
An army. Yeah, I think it was like that.
But you can just do that? How is that?
If you run a country, like, I'm sure in your yard you could hire some killers for your yard.
Yeah, but what if I wanted to, say, take over Mike's yard next door?
I think in the U.S. you'd probably get in trouble for that.
But in Russia you don't.
Well, Vlad Putin doesn't because he's the president, so you got to get elected president.
Do you think I could get elected president for life so I could take over Mike's yard? Because he's got higher land than I do, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, you always flood.
When it rains, I want to take over Mike's house.
It seems like a lot of work just to take over his house.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems
get
like
elected president and then hire a mercenary force to take over the next door neighbor's house. Putin said that he ordered him to kill was an absolute lie. So he praised Yevgeny, but also said he had made some serious mistakes.
Like Wagner Corporation makes it sound like they have a building downtown and, Wagner written across the top of it. Could you work in like the mailroom of the Wagner Corporation?
Nice. Yeah, that guy's pissed now. He thought he had his retirement set up.
I don't have any really killing experience, but could I work my way up into the Wagner Corporation? Do they have entry-level Wagner jobs?
I think if the shit hits the fan and someone invades Wagner Corporation, you're probably going to get killed. But
the more you risk, the more you make. So I would imagine a job at Wagner Corporation is probably a pretty good paying job.
Sure.
So I'm gonna kill Mike. I don't necessarily have to kill Mike, I suppose, right? I just have to get.
No, I mean he could give up and sign an oath, and then you'll have him assassinated later.
I could give him. We could just switch houses. He just has to live in the lower one.
But you would trust him?
No, I should probably have him killed. Why? What would you think he was gonna do? What do you mean trust him? I trust him. He seems like a
he'd
decent
take
guy.
back over his house. He'd make a plan to.
Oh, you think he wouldn't?
Yeah, haven't you ever seen that in the movies? You let the guy away that you don't think is the guy, and then turns out Mike is really John Wick, and he cuts your power, kills your 12 mercenaries in your yard.
Become warlords. Is that what we were saying?
Good luck. I think that was the whole gist of my first news story, was that you should become a warlord.
That's great. I've always kind of wanted to do that. I just don't have a warlord's ambition.
Yeah, if you were in the interview, you'd be like, I think you lack the killer instinct, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I've never killed before. I do lack that instinct. I acknowledged that when I applied for this job at the mailroom at the Wagner Corporation.
Yeah, but we need that out of everyone.
No, I'm trying to work up to that. That's what I said. You guys let me in here. I already told you I'd never killed anybody before. You were okay with it 2 weeks ago. Did you make me come down here for no reason? Because I will kill you if you don't give me at least a
wow, look at that. There it is.
reasonable
You're
chance
hired.
of getting this job. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're hired.
Well, dress code. I guess I should have probably asked some questions before this. I mean, we're killing people, but is there a dress code, or can I just wear T-shirts and stuff?
Yeah, you have to wear rubber gloves, and you can't be mad if your clothes get soiled or stained in some way.
Rubber gloves even when we're not out killing people, when we're just doing our desk?
Yes.
Do we have like a desk portion of the job, then a killing portion of the job? My money. Do you deposit? Do I have a regular bank account? I feel like if I work for you, I need some. Yeah. And you're probably
no, you get envelopes of money.
Oh, just cash. This is a cash bill. Do we have, because next Monday is Labor Day, do we have that off?
No, you got to work on Labor Day.
Because I already made plans. I didn't know I was going to be getting this job so quickly.
There'll be some nights and weekends. And you get benefits. There's good benefits.
Dental?
Retirement plan.
Dental?
Yeah, I mean, everything phases in over a certain number of months, so you got to...
401k, I suppose?
You got to hold on to the job. Yeah, there's a matching program.
Yeah. Casual Fridays?
Yeah, Hawaiian shirt Fridays.
That is fun, even during times of killing. Even during the...
Yeah, it makes it tough, because then you can't really hide, but even if we lose a couple people, it's good to have fun around the office.
It makes work... Having fun at work makes it less like work, is what I've always said.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're doing something you love, it's not work.
Yeah, so we'll see you Monday. This is another serious story. This one's about food. So there's 3 stories. The first story was from Japan. You sent me this about there was a nuclear disaster at Fukushima plant a few years ago, and they had all this wastewater, and now they feel like they've purified it, so they're going to release it into the water. And the countries around them don't really like this, that they're releasing all this wastewater into the ocean. The fishermen don't like it either, but they say it's safe.
It's face.
Yeah, it's face.
It's a new term they made up about fish being okay.
Yep, they said it. Did you say safe? Oh, yes, of course.
Face. Yes,
that's what I said.
It's face to drink, absolutely. What? Sounds like you're not saying safe.
Safe? Do you mean safe? Of course. Face.
I said face.
Everybody's face drinking this, and
don't
everything's
worry.
Great.
This water is face for everybody.
Yeah, so it was from 2011. They say the water's face now, and they're releasing it into the water. And so that was interesting. Yeah, Japan also has a restaurant. This is an NPR story. I'm going to read the straight story that they said from it. So it says, you know that feeling when you go to a restaurant and they get your order wrong?
Yes.
That's the point at the restaurant of mistaken orders in Tokyo, where all the servers have dementia. The restaurant says that even though 37% of the orders are delivered wrong, 99% of the customers are happy. I figured that combined with the waste, like maybe they could just serve that there. And They just be like, hey, they just shrug. Like,
we didn't even know we were serving nuclear water.
So maybe it's like a pizza place, but you just get your toppings wrong.
Yeah.
Just bring out.
That's probably what it is. I didn't say pepperoni. I didn't even know I worked here. Who's this?
Well, he said the guy who founded it was a way to raise awareness and celebrate the quirks of living with that condition.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. Like, I would, I'm not a picky eater. I would go to that place.
Is there other things that, he feels like he's exploiting it a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully.
I don't know if he's running it for profit or it's like he donates the money to, do they write it down?
They get 37% of them wrong. I'm guessing they don't write them down. That's got to be part of it.
Because if you write it down, then you would think they would just hand the paper.
Right.
Or you wouldn't get it if they just forgot they took your order.
Yeah.
It'd be like you get your food or you don't get any food. 37% was like oddly specific as well.
If you get like 100% wrong, do you get fired, I wonder?
No, you get promoted. So my kids needed a prescription, and I told the people, I was like, send it to Sharon Pharmacy. Or sorry, I should give it a different name. Send it to Carol Pharmacy in town. And the guy's like, you sure you have BVD written down here? I'm like, no, I want to try a different one. So I walk in, and first there's a guy sitting down, and I'm like, oh, he must be waiting, or he's in line. I was like, are you in line? He's like, no, go ahead. So he lets me go ahead. I tell the woman, she was like, oh yeah, we got that. It'll just be a minute. I'm like, okay, great. So while I'm waiting, first the guy behind me is like, hey, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna yell at me for cutting him or something. He's like, your shoe thing's untied. I don't want you to trip, so make sure you tie that. I'm like, oh, thanks so much. You're so nice.
Wow, that's a nice little opening.
Yeah, and then the lady gets on the phone. Somebody calls. She's like, I need my prescription. And the lady's like, we don't have it here. She punches some stuff in the computer. You actually ordered it from a different pharmacy. It doesn't say which one. And then you could tell it was like an old person. And they're like, I don't know. And at first I'm like, this lady's totally going to be able to tell her, tough luck. You just got to call around and figure it out. And the lady doesn't see on the phone who's taking the call, doesn't seem to really know what to do. And the pharmacist says, just tell her we'll figure it out. We'll call the insurance company and figure out where she ordered it from, and we'll call her back. And tells her, and the lady's like, really? You're going to do that on the phone? And the lady in the pharmacy,
how did you know what the lady on the phone said?
Because I could hear, she said it really loud. I could hear that part. And then the lady, do that for me? She was like really excited. I don't know. And the one lady's like, yeah, you don't have to do anything. We'll call you back. I was like, holy smokes, what is this place? And they gave me my prescription in like 4 minutes.
Really?
And I was walking out. The guy who was sitting there was like,
high-fived you?
And the guy was like, have a great day. And I was like, thanks.
I already am, pal.
Yeah, I was like, do you know that there's another pharmacy in town that makes your life miserable? Why is there not everybody here? I went back to BVD for a different thing. Because I thought the
petition in the parking lot, hold up a sign in the parking lot.
Well, I wanted to tell everyone, like, did you know there's another one 10 minutes from here where people are like nice and they give you the stuff right away? You had another question about the back to the dementia story in Japan?
Japan water thing. I forgot what
I had one more story to add.
Well, here, let me just.
You can do yours.
What does half-life mean?
So half the.
So when you're talking about radiation,
it decomposes. Half of it decomposes.
Why do they only do to half? Why don't they just tell you what it takes to decompose the whole thing?
Well, it never fully decomposes.
So saying it decomposes to half is like saying that's. It just seems.
Well, and the half-lives are really long.
Yeah, which makes me think they're probably not even correct. They're just.
You don't think anybody's ever timed it?
I don't like half-life. I want them to have some new term for it. They were talking about that story, and they said that the thing that pollutes the water is like it's something that's in hydrogen, I guess.
Okay.
But it's not part of the hydrogen in the water. It's like loose. I mean, I'm a very stupid person trying to describe something that's pretty
loose
heady.
hydrogen.
Loose.
You never want any loose hydrogen.
You know how hydrogen is like a thing, and then like it's made up of other things? One of those other things is called something that I don't remember the word for. And that is also in the water. So they say, it's just part of hydrogen. It's already in the hydrogen, but it's not. And I might totally be paraphrasing this the wrong way. But we're talking.
So if you're going to run for president,
I need to learn.
You got to be certain. No, it doesn't matter if you know.
Oh.
You have to act like you know, and you got to make up words for the things that you don't know.
As your new president of the United States of America, I will change the half-life nomenclature so that it's more obvious what they're trying to say. I just recently read about a story in Japan where hydrogen
Extract.
No, what's the word for like pieces of things in chemistry? Hydrogen molecule.
Sure. You're not doing great.
Are made up of other molecules, and one of which of these molecules is what ultimately makes radiation. So it's like you're already getting radiation when you drink the normal water because you've got the hydrogen in there, but then you just get this extra piece of the hydrogen, which to me doesn't sound very bad.
Especially in a beer.
How come no one's cheering? I thought that.
Yay! This is what you needed, more like this is it. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Hey, I'm your president, and Half-Life sucks because it's a stupid name from scientists, and science suck. And then there's this secret hydrogen crap that they're trying to put in your water. Well, I'll get it all out of there and put in new stuff that's better and will make you smarter and live forever. Sisk for president. So I read this story and I felt like this is something they could also build into the dementia restaurant. Tennessee Titans quarterback Will Levis signed an endorsement deal with Heilmann's Mayonnaise.
Heilmann's? Isn't it just Hellman's?
Hellman?
Heilmann's?
Yeah.
Heilmann's?
I thought it was an I, actually. It is Hellman's.
Yeah, you'd be a word for Heilmann's. Heilmann's.
So he substituted mayonnaise for creamer in his coffee.
Delicious.
And the clip went viral, and now he has signed a contract with Hellmann's Mayonnaise to endorse them for a lifetime supply of Hellmann's Mayonnaise.
That's all he gets out of it? Is a lifetime?
I guess. But I figured in the dementia restaurant there might be some cool things that come out of it that ends up being endorsement deals. Maybe that guy, maybe the quarterback already has dementia.
Who is the guy?
Will Levis. He was a quarterback at Kentucky.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. That name sounds familiar.
And now he was drafted with the 33rd overall pick by the Titans.
What year?
This year, 2023.
Wait, what? Did I misunderstand the story completely? That guy has a thing where he put Hellmann's mayonnaise in
his coffee.
But not on purpose.
Yeah, I think he'd substituted mayo for creamer. And drank his coffee.
And he's also a quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah.
How did I miss that part of the story?
So he got an endorsement deal. That's what I said. I think at the beginning, quarterback. Because I said Heilmann, and then you got
just derailed me.
Derailed by that. Yeah.
I think that is exactly what it was. You threw me off with that crazy pronunciation.
It used to be called Heilmann's. It was in Germany. It was Heilmann's, and then after World War II,
and then I just stopped listening. I'm like,
they had to change it to Hellmann's. Hail Heilmann's mayonnaise. That's what Hitler always used to say.
Crazy pronunciations. Okay. So the guy puts mayonnaise in his coffee. He got free mayonnaise. He's a quarterback. That's it's a real fun story. I put peanut butter on my hamburgers every once in a while.
Oh. What, like a certain kind, though?
I like it when it's crunchy.
A certain brand?
All right, so my favorite is just Publix here sells peanut butter that's been made at the Publix store. They just have a grinding machine that grinds it into natural peanut butter. And that's my favorite. But I'll put anything. But I'm not usually in a place, if I eat a hamburger, I'm normally at a restaurant, or I guess a fast food place, really.
Yeah, but that's when you got to do it. Then it'll go viral, and you'll get a peanut butter contract.
So carry peanut butter around with me? I guess that's what I got to do.
Somebody will film it. You'll be on their Instagram. It'll go viral. You got to talk loud about it, too. Hey, does anybody know where my peanut butter, Jif peanut butter is? Oh, wait, here it is.
Oh, I got it right on me, like I always do, because I'm obsessed with Jif brand peanut butter.
I'm going to put it on my hamburger.
I hope no one's filming me, because this is a crazy thing to do.
Maybe I'll put some in my coffee as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just like Jif in everything.
Good old Jif peanut butter.
The last story is more of a warning to us. The last Sisk story.
Okay.
There's a thing that was called the Fry Festival, and they're launching the Fry Festival 2. This guy, Billy McFarland.
Isn't it fire? F-Y-R-E?
Fry. F-R-Y-E.
You sure it's not F-Y-R-E?
No, it is F-Y-R-E. God, I can't even read.
You're getting Alzheimer's.
All right, the Fire Festival.
I know a place I can get you a job, Jared.
I was feeling really good this week, too.
Go on. I do know about the fire. I know about the first one. I didn't know he was doing another one.
Yeah. Billy McFarland, who pleaded guilty to fraud and was sentenced to 6 years in prison as a result of the original botched Fire Festival, or, as he should have called it, the Fry Festival, because then he wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
Right.
He said a new festival will come soon. But you would think, like, you go to jail for the first one, you're going to really do another festival?
This is America. We believe in second chances here, Jared. I know that I brought you guys to that weird island off the coast of Madagascar.
He put out a video with models.
Mm-hmm.
And then people shelled out thousands of dollars for the $1 million. I didn't even know anything about this.
They did a documentary about it.
But he said this time he has a 50-page plan. So
all right, now I'm listening.
Because he probably only had 40
last plan was
pages.
like 17, 18 pages, if I remember correctly, and it said nothing.
Just blank. Most of them were blank.
Yeah, a lot of them just had drawings on them of girls in bikinis.
I'm just saying, if we say we're going to hold a festival, now we know we have to do it.
Yeah, you should watch that documentary.
Yeah, I guess I'll watch it.
It doesn't paint him in a very good light.
It's good that I know how to spell it now, because I probably would have Googled Fry Festival and then nothing would have come up. And
I wonder if I just imagined that whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Produced by Produced by Banana FF Bananas. Theme song by Kai Su Technon.
And Mega
Email
Their collaboration with Mega Yellows.
Yep. Email mugancisco@gmail.com.
Don't kill your wife. We've gotten away from the thing where we're saying don't kill your wife. I think.
And I feel like wife killings have gone up.
They really have.
Yeah.
I saw a couple in the news, and I'm like, those guys were not listening to Jared at the end of the show.
Nope. And remember, endure what you must and enjoy when you can. It's just like our time together.
Mm-hmm.
That we enjoy.
I never think about killing people. Ever.
I gotta go. I start back at work tomorrow, so
back to the grind.
Back to the grind.
The old factory
I'm just gonna.
life.
If the meeting gets boring, I'm just gonna stand up and say, "Stick with the mag room," because everything else is cream cheese.
Ooh, ooh, I like my groove. Ooh, ooh, my groove is good. My groove is good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groove. My groove. Ooh, ooh, my groove is good. My groove is good. The my groov's good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groove. Ooh, ooh, my groove is good. My groove is good.
Heilmann's